Right, so thank you for joining us on day one of Dell EMC World. We're here really just to talk about the event itself. But first, let's get some introductions underway. So my name's Amit Panchal. I'm a pre-sales SE working for Dell EMC. And to my left, I have Gina. Just say your name and perhaps your Twitter handle as well.
Gina Rosenthal, also Minx, G-Minx.
Yeah.
I work at VMware.
Cool.
Here, put that in there too.
And Kev.
Hi, I'm Kev Johnson. I'm an SE for a reseller in the UK.
Great, perfect. So we're all here in Vegas once again for this first Dell EMC World. Obviously, we've never had the bringing together the two companies before. First impressions, Vegas. Well, how is it for you? Obviously, I think I've never been before. You've never been. What do you think so far of the venue?
Yeah.
And what it's like?
So yeah, it's my first time in Vegas, which is an eye opener. I have a little bit of a hangover.
Yeah.
It's also very warm.
Yeah.
The actual centre itself is massive. It just seems to be on a different scale to anything I've ever done before.
Oh, wow.
It's
wow. And what do you think of the conference layout and the way that this is like compared to other conferences you've been to?
Yeah.
What do you think of the way these various sections are like separated out? Is this like normal what you both see when you go to other conferences?
Yeah, so I mean, it's the actual layout in this social lounge is quite similar to sort of VMworld that I've been to in Barcelona.
Right.
The actual main hall it's massive. I don't know if it's bigger than the Fira in Barcelona, but it certainly feels that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, walking through the casino to get here is. I'm not sure I'm used to that idea yet.
Yeah. Gina, what do you think? Obviously, I don't know. Have you been before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's old hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have lots of tips and tricks that we can talk after. I'll give you some tips and tricks.
Thank you.
But I think this has been really interesting. Just so many people that I know, especially having worked at Dell and worked at
Of course, you've got the
EMC.
best of both.
It's really great to see everybody in one place all at one time. So that's kind of been the fun part for me, seeing everybody.
Making those connections.
Yeah,
good.
For sure.
Yeah. And what about the way the day's been organized, timing-wise, and the keynote? Does that work the way that we put it into obviously there's one entrance, and everyone's going through there, and then everyone's got to come out through the same entrance. How does that fit logistically, obviously, to what you've seen elsewhere?
Yeah, so the queues this morning to get in were, they were pretty large.
Yeah.
The DJ guy with his what even
guy
is
out
that?
There. Yeah.
Just a bunch of tubes.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I think he's still going as well.
Yeah, I can actually hear the music now, so he is going.
He's got some energy.
Yeah. For sure. So this morning, obviously, I don't know how much of the keynote you both saw, but obviously there was the main keynote that Michael Dell delivered. Obviously a lot of talk around this whole IT transformation journey and how the culmination of the whole family of companies are better together, number one, that kind of messaging. How was that received? How did you kind of thought that resonated with people? And do you think they're going to get that message when they see it at first glance? Or is it too complicated still? How do you see it as the messaging, from him? Is it too big picture and people just think they're never going to get there to transformation? Or is it reality?
Yeah. So for me, the transformation thing that's what I'm having a lot of conversations with my customers about. So everybody's interested in cloud consumption and the agility and everything that can bring with you. And as with Dell EMC, they've obviously got the whole stack there.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I'm taking away from it so far. There's I still need to figure out the difference between IT transformation and digital transformation.
So there you go. So there's something in the messaging there that you picked up already.
Yeah. So that's something I'm probably going to find more out about over the course of the week.
Okay.
But it's all transformation.
Yeah. Gina, your perspective?
For me, especially, so I just started at VMware, and I work in the Cloud Platform Business Unit, which is an interesting division at VMware because we have the oldest product from VMware, which is vSphere, and the newest product, which is going to be our cloud offering on AWS. But coming in, and my job is, I'm a product marketer, and my job is to help EMC get everything they need, and all of our teams internally working with EMC to make sure they have everything they need to sell vSphere. For me, I loved hearing Michael say he loves VMware. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
But also as a technologist, I think what's interesting is vSphere. You know, it's been around a while, and we're at the point now where your eyes don't light up because we don't have a flashy vMotion, and it's not brand new that it's virtualization. It just is. And
that's what everyone expects.
You have to have it. Yeah. But having said that, I mean, we have a big server launch. So you have the servers and the chips and everything. Even our mechanism to write to disk is evolving and changing. If that happens, everything, applications, OS, virtualization layer, all of that has to evolve as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the cool things about vSphere is it hasn't stopped evolving, and it's matching all of the things that are coming from the hardware. Even though it is like expected, you are going to virtualize if you're going to go to cloud. It's expected you're going to have it.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of fits. So that's what I'm really interested in hearing. Really interested in hearing like from people like yourself and other customers about where they're stuck and where it doesn't make sense. And like, have you remembered? Are you on 6.5 yet? Come on, sir. Those are the things I'm interested in.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, the whole thing with vSphere is now it's that the hypervisor has come to a point where it is almost commodity. Everyone's just using it, and it's the extra bits that you plug into it then. So you've got the likes of vSAN and NSX, and vSphere is obviously a big enabler for all of those kind of things.
I've heard a lot of people say commodity. I don't know if I'd say commodity as more as I'd just say it's expected. It is an integral part.
Yeah,
sure.
But we can't. It would be like having Windows 95. We can't we have to evolve ESX to match the capabilities, or else you won't have vSAN or NSX. You're gonna have to have that core be where it's gotta be to evolve and get to the place. So, and I think that's why we don't talk about vSphere anymore, because we don't have anything special and exciting. It's like we gotta do this.
Absolutely.
And no doubt, obviously, in the next day, we're gonna hear Pat come on stage tomorrow to talk more about.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So we're talking obviously more about workforce transformation, and then how we realize all the other pillars as part of the digital transformation. Sure. What about products, solutions, and features updates? We heard you mentioned 14G, obviously one of the key platform updates today after a couple of years, as Michael said. But we've also got all-flash innovation, we've got software-defined storage innovation, we've got data protection innovation. Are they going to resonate with a lot of the customers? Are you going to have more conversations now to sort of try and see how they work better together?
Yeah, I think for me that probably the biggest announcement is the new VxRail. Especially that cloud pricing model that's a bold move.
Is that a winner? Do you think that's having that OpEx CapEx?
I think it's going to be a big driver for a VxRail appliance. Yeah, it's brilliant, but for customers certainly at the small scale end, that's still a lot of cash. And if you can basically move to buying your VxRail appliance using a cloud consumption model pricing, then I think that's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how that takes off.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to hear, because that's kind of what we hear, that ultimately customers want flexibility and choice, right?
Sure, yeah.
So starting on a new product or solution and dipping your toe in the water is always a difficult conversation if you've got a high capital outlay right at the beginning. So
and everyone wants to pay for everything as OpEx these days. So it's going to be interesting.
Cool. And obviously we had some Extreme I/O, some new things coming out in that platform. So lots of new cutting edge ways that we scale up and scale out. So that was another big one that came out today on stage. And then obviously Scale I/O. So obviously another variation of software defined storage, as vSAN is. But again, they both play in very different areas depending on what the customer wants, right? Which is what the messaging is there to be done, and there's no competition here. I think that's what Michael's point is. The whole family of companies are there to offer choice.
I think we have to, right? Because if you think about how Frankenstein might not be the best word, but when I was still a sysadmin, I know I had stuff that was ancient. We didn't have a choice but to support it.
Of course,
and so you have stuff that you have to continually support. So how do you look to the cloud, and how do you lay out extra money, and how do you get there? So you have to have all sorts of choices. I would hate to be a sysadmin and running an IT
today.
How do you decide what to do?
You couldn't go back then.
I don't want to.
Sorry, sysadmins.
I think I'd struggle, to be fair.
I'm glad somebody else does, because how do you decide what to do?
Yeah. But you must see that a lot, because you obviously have that conversation more with the people on the ground.
Yeah.
The operational guys, the guys that are doing it.
I mean, those guys have got really tough job.
Yeah.
And you know, it's my job.
Yeah.
To help make sure that they're getting the right tools to enable them.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to go back that side of the fence. No.
So that's one thing we didn't talk about. We had a breakfast this morning for influencers.
We did, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why, because we know what a hard job it is.
Yeah.
And the people that take the extra time to write blogs and do podcasts and do things like this.
Sure, yeah.
We appreciate so much, and we appreciate when they talk to us one-on-one as product people. We want to hear, you know it better than anybody because you're making it work with all the other stuff. So tell us the problems you have and the ideas you have. So hopefully we'll be able to do that more, especially going through the conference season, looking forward to VMworld.
Yeah,
sure,
and then you're right, feedback drives innovation ultimately, right? So without that feedback, you can only go on one path as a company, and like companies like Dell EMC, Pivotal, VMware, etc., they only know their desire, but not necessarily the customer's desires and the challenges they're facing. So so what are you looking forward to? Obviously, we're at the beginning of the conference today, but what are the things you want to get done while you're here? What are the presentations or sessions or breakouts?
Sure.
I'll tell you first.
So what I'm going to do first is drink lots of water, because I'm really dehydrated already.
Great tip.
I'm looking forward to the new SE thing that's getting launched on Wednesday. So that's a 4-hour session. So
that looks awesome there.
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. Other than that, I'm just here to learn more about the entire portfolio, really.
Do you have security conversations too?
Yeah.
Is that another part of the puzzle as well?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm focused on that. But
So my customers are primarily they're really interested in security.
Yeah.
So the likes of RSA, SecureWorks, all that.
Okay.
SecureWorks, I'll be honest, I need to know more about it, so I'm going to be seeking those guys out.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that I need to
get your head around.
Get my head around.
Such a big portfolio, right?
Yeah.
It's wide and deep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it's
VMware is one pillar, and knowing that to a certain degree is difficult.
Yeah.
But then when you've got to have a big talk track, going down those various pillars is quite difficult. So what about yourself, Gina? What are you looking forward to?
What am I looking forward to? So I am actually I want to talk to more people about what their first time with VMware was.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Probably get both of y'all after this.
Yeah.
I'm interested in, I had a little bit of visibility into the 14G launch, into that new generation of servers, but I'm really interested in seeing it. I don't know if there's any hands-on labs. I'm hoping there are.
Yeah, that's true.
To play around.
Yeah, definitely.
I know there's a VxRail one, but I don't know if it's with the new hardware or not. So that's kind of what I'm interested in, going and doing hands-on. This is usually the only time I get to do hands-on product marketing. So between that and I'm talking to customers, and our alliances team is here. So I'm dedicated to helping Dell. So I have a whole team. It's not me. It's like I'm connected to this entire network inside VMware that is. So connecting people I'm talking with to that team. Some of the guys that are here, and just solving problems and trying to make things smoother, and how do we make it really, really easy to learn about our products and to sell our products.
Good stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's kind of all I had really for day one. Obviously, there's lots of things there.
Yeah.
Still getting everyone's heads around the lay of the land, the talk, the socializing, the messaging. Like you said, there's lots to learn. But I'd say, there are lots of areas to go to and explore. So, everyone should make sure that they do that and not just be rigid with their schedules, right?
You should actually puppy pet over there. You should go pet the puppies if you're ever stressed out, because it's really cool and awesome.
I'll definitely try that after this.
I spotted them earlier. Who's brought the dog?
They're therapy dogs.
They're a thing.
It's
brilliant.
It's really cool.
It's brilliant.
It's very new to me, definitely, so I may even try that out.
I'm definitely looking forward to having a lay down in one of those beanbags as well. They look so comfortable.
Yeah, of course. Great. Well, thanks for joining me today.
It's
really good conversation, and look forward to more conversations as the days go.
Thank you.
Good stuff.